This is Marathon's legal defense. We have a viral post going around right now on Twitter where an individual is trying to explain how Marathon's plagiarism may not have been plagiarism. And some people are believing it, some people are interested in it, others are skeptical. I'm not here to tell you what to think, but instead to bring you the news and the information and present it to you. So let's jump into this viral post and see what they're cooking up here. The post reads, "Why stuff in Marathon looks like this." So heads up, kids, do your homework. I give you a starter. After designers Republic hit hard in 1996 with Wipeout, there were several other design studios now that took up the torch. Case in point, Bionic Systems, and they show some of the graphics from this, and this has become the quintessential argument for Marathon right here. This has the most upvotes across all social media, and it goes through all the various different art styles. So we want to talk about this post a little bit. The first thing I gotta say about this post, though, it's a shame that it had to be written in such a pompous way, like, so heads up, kids, talking down to us, preaching to us like you're just so much more intelligent than us Neanderthals over here. We know nothing about art. We don't know how art works in any way. So thank you. Heads up, children. I'm about to educate you. Do your homework. Of course, this has to be the most liked post defending Marathon. It just has to be written in such a shit way. But semantics aside, let's actually look at the validity of some of these posts here. Obviously, we have various different art styles that have a similarity to what Marathon is trying to represent, right? You can go through and scroll through all of these, and he basically details all the different art styles that look like they have a sort of inspiration or could have led to the inspiration of Marathon, which is definitely true. I'm sure that the artists, they have long-standing careers. They've certainly seen some of this work, and they were inspired by some of this art. No one is denying that. No one is creating such a weird scenario where they believe that Marathon was just copy and pasted from Anti-Real's art and nothing else. And we are also not so naive. I know we might be children here, right? According to this post, but we're not so naive to just believe that Anti-Real invented the entire art style. No one thinks that. No one believes that. We know that this art style has been around for a while. What we believe is that when you look at Anti-Real's website here and you look at all of her art, that this is so ridiculously close to what Marathon is that clearly at least one Bungie dev, the one that got fired, was browsing through this, using this for mood boarding, and probably, we know for a fact now, copy and pasted something like this. Looks like something literally in Marathon, like copy and pasted into the game. Like they took this image, they right clicked it, saved image, and then just straight added it to the game. Like on the wall here, you can see all these different graphics and stuff. And then when we compared this to looking at the official Marathon website, like this is what the website looks like. These are the graphics that you can see as you scroll through. This is the entire like art style and everything. The similarities are obvious, right? Clearly, at least the one Bungie dev, the one that got fired, took some of the assets and took inspiration from this, and there was just no attribution, right? And if Bungie wants to minimize it to being just one individual that saw this person, that's fine. The problem is that the evidence of several others from the art team following Anti-Real on Twitter is there, and so you can't help but connect the dots. And even if that narrative is not true, it already exists out there in the world, and people have already labeled it Arc Raiders versus the Art Raiders, and there's no undoing that. So while I do find this post interesting and the development of this art style in general, which, to be fair, someone like Anti-Real that created their art, surely they were inspired by all of these sources. This stuff doesn't just come out of a vacuum, right? They go to these sources, they research, they look into things, and they're inspired and they create their own unique work. That's why this website exists, where they have all of their work, their original work, right? And it doesn't just come out of a vacuum. It's inspired from all the stuff that we just looked at. This is what their entire website looks like as you scroll through all of it. And these are all the different art styles that are claimed to be the inspiration for Marathon. None of these in this chain scream to me Marathon nearly as much as Anti-Real's website, if I'm being honest though, as I scroll through it. There's another artist that's posting this right here saying, as an artist / history person, I was so incredibly excited to talk at length about Marathon's art style, and it's so discouraging to see the entire narrative around it be soiled by people who have truly no idea what they're talking about. Here we go again. We got the art / art history person, preaching to us again, preaching to us morons about how art really works. Let's go ahead and hear what they have to say in their now viral post, okay? 8 to 10 times when the reactionary masses freak out over something online, I just sort of watch passively. But it's tough when it's your actual lifetime field of study. So many people fundamentally get things wrong in ways that simply take too much time to explain. Okay, so you're saying that everyone's wrong about their perception of marathon, but it just takes you too much time to explain. Okay, let's hear it. Anyways, TLDR, just skip right to the end. People have never actually cared about artists, and it's annoying to see people virtue signal like they do when it's the hot topic. When last week games were filled with tons of stolen ideas and AI generated stuff, it gets loads of praise. Art literacy is beyond dead, lol. That's my crash out for today. Back to work. Ah, yes, there it is. And you can see the reply from the last person as well down here. The art history geniuses teaching us lowbrow cretins how it all works without actually explaining anything, apparently, just giving the TLDR. It's really become kind of embarrassing seeing the defense for Marathon, if I'm being honest, because the plagiarism has already been done, it's already been admitted to, and the wrongdoing is there, right? We know that something was plagiarized, and just how much was plagiarized? Was there any sort of inspiration taken from this website at all? Those are all questions that are kind of floating in the air that Bungie doesn't want to directly answer because, let's be honest, it doesn't help their case right now. It already looks really bad for them. There's no point in them going into the excruciating detail of, hey, have you ever browsed Auntie Real's portfolio? Hey, did you take inspiration from her work when creating Marathon at all? And if the answer to those questions is no, then why have you been following them for years right now? These are questions that we will never get the answers to, and it really hurts Bungie's reputation in the situation, all right? What you really need is just a tell-all. You just need a full-on explanation of everything. Let all questions be answered if you really want to get to the bottom of it. And even then, there may not be some resolve. It may not be salvageable at this point in time because whether it's the truth or not, like Bungie said, there was just one bad apple and we got rid of them immediately. The narrative speaks volumes bigger than that, right? It just looks so much worse in terms of the optics, all right? It's a similarity to like if I'm walking down the street and I see something on the ground, I go to pick it up and it's a bloody knife. And just as I pick it up, the cops come around the corner with their sirens on and everything. And there just so happens to be a dead body in the bush right next to me that I didn't notice. It looks really bad, right? The optics look terrible for me in that situation, whether it's true or not. Like I didn't kill the person, right? Like I just was walking down the street and I picked up a knife. Wasn't I had no clue what was going on, right? The optics of this are terrible. The narrative that this speaks is awful. And I don't think there's any turning it around at this point in time. And those were the best defenses for Marathon. And honestly, they're filled with holes. One of the arguments at least had a semblance of an intelligent thought by detailing the history of this particular art style. And the second one was really probably the most ridiculous tweet I've ever seen, where they just said, you know, you guys would never understand the grandiose intelligence of I, the art history person. And I don't have time to explain this though. But if I did, you know, I would totally own you guys, you know, like it's just ridiculous. But let me know what you think about the situation down in the comment section below. And as always, make sure to subscribe to the channel, smash the like button for me, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Later.